Hello, in this video I'm going to be sharing an update about coming to church in person during this time where legal coronavirus restrictions have come to an end. If you've ever been to a financial advisor, you'll probably have been given a little form that asks you to do a survey about your attitude to risk and how that relates to how you might make investments and handle your finances and so on. And we've all got different attitudes to risk, and some of that's about personality and some of that's about our personal circumstances. And there's something similar for us as we come out of this time of legal restrictions. We've got different attitudes to the risks involved, and we come from different places in our own personal circumstances. Now, we don't really judge each other as to our attitude to risk when it comes to finances, so let's make sure we don't start judging each other with our attitude to risk as it comes to how we handle this time in the life of the church together. We need to make sure we continue to bear with one another in love as we go through this time. Now, even though legal restrictions have come to an end, there's lots of things that we have been doing to help keep people safe that we can still maintain in church life. So it's not difficult for us to use hand sanitizer when we come through the door. We can avoid passing things around between us, like passing the offering bag or the communion plate around at this time. And at this time also, we can avoid physical contact through handshakes or hugs and help keep one another safe in that way. So there's lots of things like that we can maintain, things like enhanced cleaning and so on. The good news about the end to legal restrictions is it means that we are now allowed to sing together. Hallelujah. And so, once again, we will be able to enjoy congregational singing. The thing we know that people feel quite differently about is the wearing of face masks, that some would like to continue and others are keen to get rid of them as soon as possible. So for everybody's comfort, we are going to ask that when we move around the building, if you're able to, you wear a face covering. As we have two distinct areas in the church, we're asking everybody upstairs to wear a mask at all times. And upstairs, we'll be maintaining social distancing of 1 metre plus the mitigation of wearing a mask, and asking only one household to sit in each pew, maintaining that distance from other households. If you are clinically extremely vulnerable or not yet fully vaccinated, the government guidance is that you continue to maintain social distancing, and so you should sit upstairs where those measures are still in place. And the reason we're having this area upstairs is in part because of the risk of aerosol transmission from the balcony down into the ground floor. Downstairs, face masks will be optional. You can still choose to wear one, or you are allowed to take it off. You will still require one, of course, for when you are moving around the building. You'll see that we've got long rows of chairs back out, and there's more seats that will be available. We would ask people to leave space between those that you don't normally mix with. So to leave a couple of chairs between you and households that you wouldn't normally be mixing with. There'll also be an area screened off downstairs for anyone who's unable to go to the balcony but wants to be in a space where there's those additional mitigations in place. So those key messages: upstairs, masks will be mandatory at all times. Downstairs, masks will be optional. There's a few other things just to inform you about. You'll no longer be required to book and register in advance to come. You will still be able to check in when you arrive using the NHS app, but that's not a requirement of coming to church in person. We will, of course, still be continuing to live stream our services, so if you are not yet comfortable coming back into the building, you'll still be able to join with us in worship in that way. And just a couple of things about arriving at church on a Sunday morning. We'll still be asking people to enter through the right-hand door as you come into the building, just to help us manage the flow around the space, and still to use the right-hand north staircase to go up to the balcony, and the left-hand side south staircase to come back down again. The one-way system that was in place on the ground floor will no longer be used. And before you come on a Sunday morning, we would encourage people to make use of the free lateral flow testing that's available. You can order kits direct from the NHS to be delivered to you. And if that's something you'd be willing to do, you can find a link in the description of this video for where you can order those. As I said at the very beginning, we're going to have different attitudes towards the risks that are involved in this time. Let's remember what we're encouraged from Ephesians chapter 4, to be completely humble and gentle, to be patient, bearing with one another in love. Make every effort to keep the unity of the Spirit through the bond of peace, both for us together and for our brothers and sisters in other churches who are likely to be doing different things from us. It would be so good if we could be known for our love for one another during this time. If you've got feedback about these measures that we are putting in place, particularly if they would make it difficult for you to attend on a Sunday morning, please do get in contact with us. And we will be reviewing these guidelines for ourselves if the situation around us changes, and we'll look at them again in about a month's time. But I really look forward to welcoming you here on a Sunday morning and for us being able to worship together and sing together again in the coming weeks and months. If you are joining us in the next few weeks, just a bit of information about what will be happening over August. Throughout August, we'll be having all-age services like we often would do through the summer months. So do come, families and all, you'll be really welcome as we seek to make our services suitable for us all to be together. And then from September, we'll be looking to restart the Sunday Club groups at the back for children under 15 like we had before coronavirus restrictions, although it may look a bit different to the way things were 18 months ago. So that's just a little bit of information about what's coming in the next few weeks and months.